Hey, welcome to this episode of Scrapyard Choppers, where today we'll be getting this truck running really good by changing the intake manifold, the carburetor. Hopefully you saw the last episode where I got this truck running for the first time in many years. The engine was locked up. It's quite the task. So let's get started right now. We're going to pull the distributor off and then start working on the intake manifold. We can get rid of all these spark plug wires. We don't need none of this stuff no more. So we'll get some new ones at the auto parts store.
Back in 79 on my BMX bike.
Well, this cap is not in bad shape. Well, no, it's pretty crusty. Take that back. Alright, climb in the truck.
Up here?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, I need you to bump the key.
Bump the key.
Just like turn it on and off real quick. No, I mean to like start it.
Like this?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, bump it. Just tap it.
Like this?
Yep, well, do it again. Do it again. Again. One more time. There we go, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, bump that around. Distributor is pointing to number 1. I don't know if it's top dead center or if it's 180 degrees out. It doesn't really matter as long as I put that distributor back in exactly how it is right now. Should start right up and run just fine. We'll time it later, of course, but for now, that'll work. I'm gonna run over and grab a vacuum and a blower. We're gonna blow this all out. I might actually just do a blower. That's easier. Cover that. Of course, I hadn't covered the distributor. Now I've got to cover it up with something. Yeah, let's go ahead and blow this all out. That way, nothing falls down in there when I grab the intake off.
Stopped at 7-Eleven. I stole a book that changed my life. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing.
Good as new. I mean, also, if you gotta get that perfect concert hair going, like when you're, running in a music video, better when my hair is not a ponytail. You get the point. Got her all cleaned up. Time to pull the carburetor, pull the distributor, and get this intake out of here. Yeah, now it's just time to get all the stuff undone and out of the way. Man, this has been on there a solid while. There we go. Keep this around. That's for your vacuum advance. Pulls vacuum off the carburetor. Tells the distributor to add advance. The timing, of course. Now, could I have rebuilt this quadrijet and learned how it works and taken this opportunity to understand what's supposed to be one of the best factory carburetors there is? Sure. Or I could just stick that really nice Holly I got sitting right there on here and save some time. And a way better intake. Ugh. Well, I was wrong about this choke thing setup. So it goes around and into this, and then comes back into this. I don't understand what's happening here, but there it is. Carburetor off. I'm assuming what's happening here is it's getting heat off the intake manifold to tell it to open the choke up. That would be my guess. Alright, pull that distributor, start pulling this intake. They make a really sweet wrench to do this. I know I have one. I just don't know where it's at. Alright, this is loose. Out she comes. Maybe. Come on. There we go. Gotta keep the dirt out of here and keep this nice.
That changed my life.
Can't you love it? Can't you love it? Can't you love it?
Sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Under that clear.
Yeah, sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Under that clear.
Yeah, sometimes a man forgets.
I realized I might have to pull these valve covers. So let's try to get it off without pulling the valve covers first. Well, something to get that lucky, but I'm not gonna get that lucky.
We claim it's to feed our path, but the question they're asking, how big was the rap?
Starting to come loose. I think I'm hitting that valve cover. Hitting both valve covers. Okay, pull the valve covers, I guess. Guess if we're doing this, we can put some better looking valve covers on it. Screwdriver. Oh boy. This does not want to let go. There it goes. It's definitely grungy. A little sludgy. Definitely nothing obvious wrong with it though. Can I just sneak one off? Get this intake off. I guess I'm gonna get this part. Let's pull it off. Come this far. Let's just get them both off. Come on, let go. Well, I guess I need new gaskets there too, okay? Alright. Well, that's off. Now the fun part, I gotta get all this gasket material off without dropping it all down inside the motor. Honestly, this motor does not look bad at all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually run the vacuum over this all real quick. I'm gonna lay this towel down inside there and just start scraping and wire wheeling, and we just gotta keep all the junk out of this as best we can. And then afterwards we're gonna do oil change, because now we got coolant into the oil.
Sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Under that clear.
Yeah, sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Under that clear.
Yeah, sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
Under that clear.
Yeah, sometimes a man forgets that there's a heart that beats.
So everything's 110% cleaned up. Now after I get these out, I'm going to run the vacuum around it one more time, just to be safe. Alright, now we're going to hit some brake clean on a rag. We're going to clean up all these edges. We're going to take our black silicone. Okay, I'm gonna take a drop and put it right there, there, there. And I'm gonna use that, it's gonna hold the gaskets in place. If you look at our gasket, it says this side up. So you know that's the passenger side. This side up, I already got my metal piece in there that restricts the exhaust flow. Alright, now that we got the gaskets on, and they're holding themselves in place, we're going to take our silicone, and we're going to go right across the front here. We want like a 1/4 inch bead, like you're laying a weld. Yeah, you don't really want to use the gaskets that come with the kit because they're going to leak on you eventually. Alright, now that's set up for a little bit, let's put the intake manifold on. So now your center 1, 2, 3, 4. Your center 8 bolts on a small block Chevy. You need to hit with a little bit of silicone. They go into oil passages. Alright, let me go ahead and get all the bolts in this. And I'll bring it back for when I'm tightening it. But it's simple. Just start in the middle. Then do these ones and then these ones. Always a circular pattern starting in the middle when it comes to stuff like this. Alright, so we're going to start with these middle 2 bolts. I'm just going to snug that one up. I don't want to make it super tight. I'm going to come over here and tighten up this one. I'm going to go back and snug these ones up with a wrench. Just getting them down right now. But yeah, you get the point. So, tighten this all up. We'll put our valve covers on. Maybe drop the distributor in. Maybe put a carburetor on it. I need this gasket still, which I gotta run to town unfortunately to get. So we'll see what happens. That's one intake manifold installed. Yep, alright, guess we could plop a distributor in it. Kind of go from there. Put the valve covers back on because they're done. I put the carburetor back on and we could hear this thing run, but just missing that gasket. I know I got one somewhere around here. I guess I'll have to look some more. So, let's do that distributor next. Now I took a picture of which way this has got to go before, but I also remember which way this has got to go. It's got to point at number 1. Nope. Come on, get out of there. So the gears are going to turn this, so you want to be over where it's got to go. Come on. This is always one of the things I struggle with the most. Getting dang distributors. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Oh, we're in. Oh. No way. Normally it takes me a long time to get a distributor in. There it is. No way. That's pointing the right direction. That's pointing right about where we want it to be pointing. Still got to change the rotor. You think to myself, I'd do it before I put this in, but I figured if I put it in, then that holds it down and it's easier to change. So, go ahead and do that now. Oh. That's quality. This is perfectly fine. I mean, it's rusty, but that's no big deal. When you pull these apart, always want to make sure your springs aren't broken. This stuff ain't flopping around too much. Hey, look, the new one's even my favorite color. Pop these all around so they're the right way. I'll go ahead and set this on there. There it is. I'll just show you. All I gotta do is plug this in right there, and then plug this in on the side that says battery. That is not the proper connector, but and now that's ready to go. And then this other side right here is for the tack, which we don't have. We'll come back, put on some valve covers, and I found a gasket. We'll put the carburetor on too. Okay, valve cover time. I got these studs. So I just go ahead and put the gasket on the motor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some silicone in these corners. Normally I put these gaskets, normally I would put these gaskets on the valve cover first, but let's try it this way just to see how it does. Hey, that worked pretty well. Hey, those studs are too short. Doggone it. Well, that sucks. I thought I measured those before and they were right. Let me find something. And I'll be back. It might be tomorrow, but I'll be back. Alright, I guess since I can't actually put the valve covers fully on, let's just throw the carburetor on it. So I will tell you, the best way to do these carburetors, or any carburetor really, is those studs instead of putting bolts in like this. If you can have studs in the intake manifold, it's less likely that when you pull this carburetor off to adjust it, you're gonna strip your intake manifold out. Yeah, because if you got studs in here, then all you just pull is the nut. But this is what we got. So this is what's happening. Now when you're doing it, you want to run one in until it's almost snug. Dang, how many, I guess. You almost don't even want to tighten any of them until they're all snug. So you don't warp the carburetor or get it to not seal right. Man, this carburetor is going to make me use a dang wrench. Remember, your distributor always goes up here on the top one. This is your vacuum advance. When this feeds vacuum or well, when this has vacuum, it tells the distributor that it's at idle. When it doesn't have vacuum, it tells it that it's at full throttle. After the distributor's locked down, we'll clean this up more later. Just getting it on for now. Sorry, I was kind of worried about the throttle hooking up on this, but it fits right in this hole. Full throttle seems to work. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Now, I'm going to get these studs tomorrow, and then hopefully you can see me. Let's bring it up here. So I'm going to get these studs for the valve covers tomorrow, and then I'm going to actually try to drain as much gas out of this as I can. Pour fresh gas in it. Hook up the fuel line here. Put the wires on it. And let's just see how it runs with all this done. So alright, I can't find the right size bolts for these valve covers because I'm using a thick gasket and these are a thick valve cover. So this is as close as I could get, but unfortunately there's too much emptiness right there. So I'm going to have to take these long ones and cut them down. So basically what I do is I thread a nut on all the way, cut off a grinder, back the nut off, and the nut's going to clean up any kind of threads, make it really easy to thread in the hole. Pretty simple process. Nope, that's perfect. So now I'm just going to go ahead and make 8 more, and I'll bring it back when it's done. Sorry, we're going to try to figure out what's going on with this motor mount situation. I really can't see what's going on up here. As you can see, there's not much room to see. Now, the other one, of course, we know is that clamp. So that's going to go. This actually has the right motor mount on this side and the wrong one on that side. That's why the motor's sitting the way it is. I don't understand, but whatever. So let's climb underneath and see what's going on. Yep, just as I expected. Let's see if I can get you up in here so you can see. That is the wrong mount. Ran through the frame. Yeah. See, this mount is supposed to be on top of this piece that is bolted under. So it's going to be a little difficult to film me doing this. I'm going to get that out real quick. Then we'll pick this motor up, pull the clamshell off. It's going to be a bugger to film, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it by myself. So I tried a new mic in this episode, and unfortunately it failed horribly. So here I am, pulling off the hose clamp motor mount, best motor mount ever made, in my opinion. And then lifting the motor up using a chain around the water pump worked perfectly fine. I mean, I didn't have to lift it up very hard to get in here and start pulling the old motor mounts off. So here I'm explaining how the motor mounts work. You got one bolt that comes up through the bottom of the frame, and then the 3 bolt holes go up into the motor. Pain in the ass design. I'm glad GM switched over to the clamshell mounts. So let me go ahead and take you right to where we're dropping the motor in. Hopefully there's sound there. Well, I know I needed to drain the gas tank. I didn't expect to do it right now. Forgot to unhook that before I jacked it up. It started leaking, so got this unhooked and it's just draining away. It smells pretty bad in here right now. That's some terrible gas. Alright, it's time to lower the motor in. Well, the way that these are designed, they have the bolt holes that come like straight through the bottom. It's a little bit harder to put on than the clamshell kind. Oh, by the way, this is the clamshell kind. This is the motor mount that was on the passenger side. Not at all right for this truck. That's the mount that's on the driver's side. That was on the driver's side. So they got a single bolt. Comes through the frame into here. This one has a bolt that goes through here. I did find a nifty that has the retainer so this nut doesn't spin. That's pretty cool. So this is a keeper. Completely wrong mount for this truck. They did use a hose clamp, so obviously they didn't care. So I'm gonna lower it down. You guys watch it and see if it lines up. All right, we'll take this motor down and hopefully it goes right into place. That'd be a miracle.
We go cruising, never think of the heart. Reduce reduce the value to the sum of the parts.
This motor's still sitting really crooked. I don't know what's going on. Well, it's doing something. It's tightening up. Can't tell if I'm pulling the rubber out of the middle of this mount or what. But these manifolds are the wrong one for this dang truck. No wonder they never had this stupid thing in there right. So after dealing with this, those are the wrong manifolds. They are not letting this motor sit where it needs to go, and they are not going to work. And that's all there is to it. That's why this redneckery was happening. Definitely the wrong manifolds. See, this manifold is sitting on top of the motor mount down here, and it's not letting the motor line up to where it's going to go. So there's no point in going on and doing anything else. So I get this motor actually sitting right in here. So I'm going to look around on Facebook, see if I can find our set of headers. If not, I got a buddy, Dave. He's got a ton of these trucks. He's got the right manifolds for this truck. His link's in the description below. If you guys need any parts, look down below. I'll have it all pointed out all nice and neat for you. He's very, very knowledgeable. He does have a ton of parts in stock. If you're in Michigan, you can drive right to him and pick them up. Way better than most of the magazines because he knows what he's talking about. He knows where every screw, every bolt, every nut goes in one of these trucks. Hit him up. So I'll be back once I figure out this situation. See the smile on my face? This motor mount is finally in. Holy crap. There's at least an hour of trying to get this motor mount in. But if it's all bolted in, the bolt coming from the bottom down there just did not want to go in right. So what I ended up doing was picking the motor up sideways, loosening the mount on the motor, setting it back almost down to where I could wiggle it around, and then I finally got it to start. So once I got it about halfway in, I tightened up the motor mount back to the motor, set it all down, tightened it up. It's done. My hand is tired. But the motor is finally in the right position. Transmount bolts aren't in. I'll worry about those later. Gonna have to do some stuff back there anyways. So the microphone issues continued. I really tried something new. I really wanted to bring you guys better content, better audio. So I lost a bunch of audio, and I lost actually a couple videos for some reason too. So I'm gonna go ahead and just press the fast forward button a little bit on you. I found a set of headers. They worked great. They're off actually like a square body Chevy. Fit right in. They are a little low. I got it from my buddy Bobby down the road. He does my motors and transmissions. So then we switch the water pump to a long shaft water pump, or a long nose water pump, I mean, because all the bracketry I have sitting on the shelf is for long nose water pump. Go ahead and throw that all on. Throw the bracketry on. Throw the water pump, or throw the fuel pump on, because this is going to be my daily driver. I want to make sure I got new stuff that's quality. It's going to last me a little while. And then when I put my headers on, those spark plugs in and spark plug wires, and then let's fire this thing back up. That's awesome. Been a long ways, a lot of work to get that motor all back in. I thought this was going to be a really quick project. I was completely wrong. Stuff just isn't as easy as it looks on YouTube. Alright. Everything's hooked back up. We gotta get gas up here to the carburetor. Hopefully it doesn't leak anywhere. So I'm gonna dump some gas in this carburetor. I'm gonna jam that choke open because I haven't wired it up yet. Oh shoot, that was way too much. Way too much. Don't catch on fire, please. We're gonna check our idle screws here. Have one. Make sure they're both one turn out. Got my screwdriver right here to adjust the idle. Hook up my gas pedal linkage. Oh, I got no return spring. Getting ahead of myself. Where'd the return spring come that was on it? Where'd the return spring go that was on it is the words I was looking for. Well, something's better than nothing. Okay, let's see if it runs. It runs. I think the timing's a little off. See if we got fuel. Well, we're getting fuel. Probably need some more down the carburetor. Find my bottle. Trying to put some inside this bowl. Fill this up full of some gas so it'll run for a second, hopefully. So I can adjust the timing. That sounds off. It sounds like something. That's alright. I think I flooded it. It's a trying. What does that sound? This radiator is making all kinds of noise. Well, it runs. Probably needs a little more idle. If we bring a little less timing, a little more idle, maybe it'll sit there and run. It's very smoky in here now. gear? What's going on? Well, it's starting to idle. But I think this transmission might be in gear. As crazy as that sounds. Now it's in park. Alright, it wasn't neutral. It started to idle there and I shut it off. Let's just see if it'll sit here and idle. Oh, it was so close. Touch more idle. We're making progress, that's for dang sure. So in all my years of working on cars, which is a lot more than I'd like to admit at this point, never seen this happen. This is the button out of the center of the distributor cap. It broke and came out of there. I never ever have I ever seen that. I don't know. What the heck? No wonder this thing wasn't running right. Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. I've never seen that before. So I guess I'll have to get a new cap. Okay. Sorry, I got a new cap. Everything's installed right. I just checked this to see why in the world that would happen. It's not really moving up and down. It's installed right. There's the tab. It's all the way down. I have zero idea of why that would happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the distributor back together. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cap back together, put it on, get the wires on, and then let's try to start it one more time. I keep trying to end this video. I don't want to end on a bad note. I want this thing to sit here and purr like a kitten. Yeah, it's a kitten. It's a 305. Good example. So, let's get this done. Also, leave a comment down below. Why in the hell would that happen? I've never seen that happen before. Alright, let's try this again. Or hopefully it runs good. Yes! Hopefully you can tell on camera it wasn't too loud, but it's running amazing. Definitely gotta check or set the timing. I realized when I put the clamp that holds the distributor on in this intake manifold, it was upside down, so it's not holding the distributor where I would like it to be. But as I adjusted the timing, it sounded way better. Gotta set timing, adjust the carburetor, and this thing's ready to go. Other than it needs brakes and suspension and all kinds of other stuff. We're gonna do that in the next episode. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's a long episode. If you've made it this far, definitely hit that subscribe button. And God bless you, and I'll see you next time.